Okay, I'm totally aware that I'm saying this often, but today I'm super excited for this video because we are going to move a trapdoor spider from this small enclosure. It is now much bigger, the trapdoor spider, so we are going to move it into a bigger enclosure. And the thing is, since this is a trapdoor spider, you know, they are basically never outside unless it's some sort of trouble for them. So of course, ever since I rehoused my trapdoor spider inside of this enclosure, I basically never spotted it. And even though you can sometimes see it on the edge of the enclosure, there is a lot of webbing and dirt, so there is just no way for me to see it clearly. I could only spot it moving inside, and that is significantly bigger than from when we added it to this enclosure. I remember that when I got it, it was really tiny, and I had it in, I believe, inside of this size enclosure, or no, the bigger cup. I'm going to show you the all the recordings so you can see how tiny it was. And also I will show you the recording of when we rehoused it into this enclosure. If I recall correctly, it was still pretty small, and I'm super excited. That's why I'm super excited to see how bigger it is now, because if you look, this is first trapdoor that it made, and now if you compare it with the trapdoor now in the same enclosure, you can see that this trapdoor is significantly bigger than the last one. So yeah, this will be interesting to see. This will be interesting to see. You see? I need a bit more light. But this is how the trapdoor now looks, and it is somewhere down there. I have no idea if it is a male or a female. So yeah, unsexed trapdoor spider. But trust me, it is down there. If you look at right here, there is some prey remains. So this is a leftover from the roach that I dropped like 2 or 3 days ago. So yeah, it is still alive and kicking. And now I'm honestly not sure if this enclosure will be big enough. I mean, it will be big enough, but there won't be a lot of substrate. So that potentially means that we will need to rehouse it kind of soon into a fossorial type of enclosure. But I'm going to check it out first, and then we will determine if that will be needed. Getting it out of this enclosure will be probably quite a challenge. Okay, I'm destroying the... Oh, I cannot do it like that. Let me see if I can pull just the trapdoor. Oh, it is so strong. But here it is. This is the trapdoor. Look at it. This is actually so cool. Whoa. But before we actually get it outside, I need to set up the enclosure. And before we do that, just a little quick announcement. I finally restocked the Rainbow Ornata shirts in the web shop, so if you want them, if you need them, go and order them. And also soon I'm going to add acrylic enclosures to the web shop because they survived the shipping. You know, I did a giveaway where I randomly sent 3 packages with these enclosures. 2 of those 3 packages arrived at the destination without any problem and without any breakage. The third one went to UK, so there is customs and everything, so it is a bit delayed, and I still don't have information how did that go. Yeah, look out for that. I'm going to announce it on the Facebook and Instagram, and of course in the video. And by the way, I will have these available, the ones with the front opening. You see, the true arboreal enclosures, ideal for jumping spiders and arboreal tarantulas and huntsman spiders and such. And do I think I wanted to mention something else. Oh yeah, Monday's video was a bit experimental, and I'm recording this video before that video came out, so I have no idea how well it was received. It actually performed terribly, but comments are overwhelmingly positive, so I really don't know. Please go and check it out. But in case you didn't check it out, go and check that video. I really enjoyed making it, and I would be really stoked if it performed well, because I would like to make like a series of videos on similar topics. Go and check it out. And look at this, I just spotted that I have a spider on the table. He's hanging right there. You see, this is the table where we work, and he is at the perfect spot to become a star. Anyhow, let's set up the enclosure. The only important thing in this enclosure is, of course, a lot of substrate, because you know that is the main thing that trapdoor spider needs. a lot of substrate. And of course they don't need a height because they are called trapdoor spider, and you have seen the obvious reason why they are called a trapdoor spider. They build a trapdoor. But in this enclosure I will make like a really steep slope, and that will enable me to have a lot of substrate in the back. I'm gonna add more and it will be up to this level, so a lot of substrate regardless of how the front part of the enclosure is low. That is a little trick that you can do. And generally in most of my enclosures I am building slopes because the enclosure is visually appealing more for me in that way, although not this extreme slope. This is just for the trapdoor spider. Compress all of that, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that in the nature these trapdoor spiders build their trapdoors on the slope of a hill. Maybe not this exact species, but generally they do that. And you see, this would be it. A lot of substrate. Now I'm still going to add a leaf litter and a bit of sand for the texture and some springtails. Yeah, so leaf litter. Although I think that everything will just go down. And I'm gonna take just a little bit of this plant from the junglarium to see if it will survive in that enclosure. I'll just place it right there in the dirt. Although I'm not sure if I will be able to keep it moist enough. That is my only concern. And here I will poke the starter burrow. This is the great way if you want to dictate where the spider will dig. You just provide it with a starter burrow and there is a great chance that the spider will actually dig there. There we go. Sand for the texture from Namibia. A bit of reddish sand. More everywhere. And we just need some springtails. Just a little bit. And oh my god, I just realized that my springtail colony is infected with, look, mites. Mites everywhere. Oh no, how did this happen? I have no idea. Yeah, they are crawling everywhere. What is this? Oh. Thankfully, I only see springtails that dropped in the enclosure and not mites. Maybe one or two, but there is almost exclusively springtails, so that's a good thing. But now what? Oh no, I cannot lose this colony of springtails. I guess if I pour a lot of water, all the springtails will float up and the mites should stay in the water. So that way I will be able to separate all the springtails from them. That's a story for another day. I mean, not in this video. But now I need to do it today because I don't want this to get out of control. Okay, now the enclosure is now done and ready, prepared for the spider. So we need to get it out of this enclosure and that should be fun. I will get another tub so we can get it in that tub so I can record it nice, because once I drop it in this enclosure I think that it will just go in the hole and once again we won't be able to see it good. So that's the plan. And this should be good. So I just put it in here and I don't know if I should just... Bateria je prazna. Okay, I will be a bit more gentle, but I spotted some movement somewhere in this web. Great. Typical, I didn't press record. Doesn't matter. You didn't really miss much. You see, spider should be inside of this web. Oh, I can feel it move. You see? Yeah, I think the spider is mad. Ooh! Look how it is. Ooh, yes, it is much bigger. Oh, it looks so nice. Look at it. Such a shame we cannot observe it more often, but the size is, if you compare it, it's a bit bigger than my finger, but much bigger than how it was when we added it to this enclosure. So whoa. Thankfully trapdoor spiders are not able to... Jeez, can you hear that? As you can see, trapdoor spiders cannot climb the plastics, so that's why I'm not concerned that it will escape. Ooh, it is walking so weirdly. What are you doing, dude? It is walking so... Ooh, no, it bit it just straight up bit the tweezers. I hope that didn't hurt its fangs, but it was so vicious. Yeah, I should have used the straw to poke it. That way it cannot hurt its fangs. So mad. Whoa. Come on, go on the substrate. Dude. But it is insane how much more defensive they are when you compare it with tarantulas, for example. Okay, it doesn't want to beat the straw now, but it is for... Oh yeah, there we go. See? I got worried for a second that maybe it broke fangs when it bit the tweezers, but I could hear the cracks of the straw as it was biting it, so no, the fangs should be okay. But can we get a thread posture? That would be so nice. I don't have a picture or recording of trapdoor spider thread posture. So, but it did slow down a bit. So maybe we will get it as it gets tired. Oh, see. The bite. Holy. I'm not sure how their venom is, but I know that it is probably not mild. Okay, let's stress it no more and let me move it into the enclosure, but I will need something to pick it up. I think that all that we're going to do will be just get it in. Okay, it is even better that we kind of tired it, so now it is a bit easier to handle. So I should be able to just drop it in the new enclosure. There we go. And we'll remove this old webbing. So now as it scouts the area, it should stumble upon this hole and then for the next few days build a trapdoor. We are hoping for that, and also I'm hoping to record it. So yeah, this next segment will hopefully be just that. Let's go. For some time Spider was wandering in the enclosure, just circling around the corners, so I decided to lead him up into the hole. But that didn't really help, because once I set everything up for the time-lapse, the spider continued to circle inside of the enclosure and actually dig a bit in the bottom corner, so I covered that with the rocks. I needed him to make a trapdoor at the pre-made burrow because it will give us the best view, but once it found a hole on its own, it just sat inside for 3 straight days. So I assumed that the light could be bothering him, and I turned it off for a few hours, and voila! It started to build the burrow and the trapdoor. Unfortunately, as you could see, it didn't go as planned. Unfortunately, the spider only built like a half of trapdoor, and even though I hope that it will continue to build it and I will continue to record it, but tomorrow I'm going to vacation, so I won't be at home for next few days. So therefore I cannot, in order to finish this video for you, I need to edit it as it is, and even though I will leave the camera to record the progression of the trapdoor while I'm not at home, I still cannot make it in this video, so I will edit in the next one if the spider finished the trapdoor. And since I didn't have trapdoor glass panel on for the recording, the enclosure significantly dried, so yeah, you see, the plant is definitely not in the best shape, so I don't think that it will be able to recover. So once I'm done with the time-lapse, then I will add more plants and hopefully the substrate will stay moist enough. But before we end this video, I would like to attempt to feed the spider. I'm not sure if it will be down for that, but we will try and see. I have one lateralis roach right here, so I'm going to offer it. And there are no trip wires, so I'm not sure if the... Ah yeah, there is web. But it looks like the spider is not interested. Oh. You see, those are spider legs and the roach just climbed over the spider. What is this? Now I need to get the roach out. Let me shine some light inside. Yeah, you see, there's the spider, but I don't see the roach. Oh, I will need to poke the roach out. God damn. And if I lift the trapdoor just a bit, can't even see the roach. This is bad. Oh, the roach is coming, look. I don't know, maybe the spider is in the pre-molt, so that's why it is also so slow with the trapdoor or something like that. I don't know what is happening, but it definitely doesn't want to get the roach. Okay, it is out. So then I'll just give it a good mist and we will call it a day. There, it needs a lot of humidity now. Hopefully once I'm back from vacation, the trapdoor will be finished. And before we end the video, I have one fan package to open. And by the way, I finally have a fan mail address once again. So in case you want to send me something, I wrote it in the description, so you can send me whatever you like. A letter, sand for the texture like I have in this case. Whatever you like, fan mail, fan art, thingies, whatever. Everything will be featured in the video. So Michael from New York sent me a glacial silt from the Alaska, and that is a really cool thing, like a special sand, huh? Very, very nice texture. We can immediately add a little bit into this enclosure. Michael, thank you for the send, and the rest of you, feel free to go and check out last video. It will be also linked in the description in case you missed it, because I think a lot of you missed it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to thumbs it up and comment something. If you want to support this channel even more, there's a Patreon page. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. I upload on Monday, and sometimes on Sunday there's a live stream. So see you again soon. Bye.